Hi, my name is Jean-Christophe Burckhardt. I'm a designer specializing in the French Provincial style. And last year I made a wonderful discovery here in northern New South Wales. Sharon and Ross, an artist and a civil engineer who'd originally lived in the south of England and in the south of France, have brought their passion for the old French style here to Australia and have spent 25 years building this beautiful farmhouse, collecting the stones from the paddocks here, the old timbers from warehouses and bridges. They have, with their own hand, over 25 years, built this absolutely wonderful place. I'd love to show it to you. I came here by chance and I realized what a find it was. This is, in my mind, the most complete example of the French Provincial style I've seen in Australia. It shows a seamless integration between the interior and exterior, from the decor to the choice of colors, right down to the textures of the walls. I can see straight away that this is not just a home where a concept has been applied. It's a reflection of a lifestyle that is lived and loved.
Sharon and I set off for England in about 1970, and we worked in England for 2 years. Our first child, Sven, was born there, so he's now grown up and he's actually living in France. So mainly because of that, we've had several trips to France. We just love it so much, particularly in the south. And we'd like to keep going back. We've picked up ideas which we've put into this house, and yeah, that's where we're at. That's how it started.
Well, for me, he was working and I had a young baby and I was enthralled with the countryside of England. So I had a beautiful car and I decided to go driving during the day because there was a lot of work being done around the area with tradesmen. I sat for days and days and just watched the tradesmen working on the pargeting on the walls and doing the thatch, and I made the conscious decision there and then that I wanted to take those beautiful trades back to Australia and hopefully they'd survive in something that I've produced.
And that's exactly what she did. Although France and Australia may be continents apart, the concept of the provincial style is transportable. The surrounds not only inspire what you design, they can also provide the materials necessary to create this very feeling. And while the French style has a certain formality, just like here, two little angels guarding and framing an entrance, at the same time, it's also about imagination and adaptation. French Provincial is certainly a style, although there are no distinct rules to prevent individual creativity being expressed.
However, I discovered by mistake when I was mixing up some fertiliser, because we had a position where I wanted to put in some acid-loving plants and the soil was too alkaline. So I got some ferrous sulfate and I mixed it up and splashed it on the wall, and it reacts against the alkaline cement. So I got this bright orange mark on the wall and I thought, hello, I found something here. So I've gone around. As you probably noticed, there's little lines all around the place and around the doorways that are bright orange, and it's from the mixture of using that in water and just painting it. It's kind of like, it creates this fantastic orange colour. It's terrific.
It's a lot easier than rendering.
Yeah, and you don't have to render it. It's like you just can paint a border on there. It's fabulous.
Have you ever wondered what is it that gives it that special French touch? That provincial, that lived-in feel, that romantic and soft look? Well, one of the important elements there is using materials that are old, and if you can't, give them an aged feel. Give them that lived in, that patina of time. And if you look, for example, at the old timbers of the portico, what makes them blend with the stone is the fact that the greys are soft and there is variety of color and texture. One of the ways to create this lived-in feel is to allow the natural contrast between different textures and materials. Like even here, the stones, they're all uneven sizes, uneven texture. There is a variety of color, and just the plants growing through them, again, give that quality of organic, of lived in.
Most of the timber that we've used on the property is recycled, so it came from old bridges on the Clarence River that were pulled down and washed away. There was an old piggery on the property that the timbers were cut out of the rainforest when they first cut around here. So they're rosewood and cedar. So still with the old, the adze marks on them and the old barbed wire and the staples and all of that. And so they're all exposed. This house is a time capsule for the Northern Rivers. It really is.
End of 25 years of you two working on it.
Well, actually, I built the toilet block out there in 1642, so we told a lie when we said we've been here 25 years.
And indeed, it looks like 1642 with one exception. That is, Sharon and Ross have built a classic Australian icon, the outside dunny. I was amazed when I first saw it, a true outside dunny that is done in a slightly grand French Provincial style. Pebbles embedded in the floor in a beautiful floral pattern, arched open windows that look out onto angels guiding the dunny, and a beautiful atrium entrance between the two.